Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Lead with Love podcast with Dr. Q, where we talk about love, leadership, and real life lessons that actually matter. And if you are here right now, it is not by accident. You're exactly where you are supposed to be. So let's jump in. So, 4 weeks. That is what we've spent inside of the C in Just Care: communication and the breakdown. We talked about the 5 communication tools. We talked about courageous conversations. And today, we close this season the way that I love to close every single season, with the voice of the people. Because here's what I know about research and frameworks and protocols: they're important, right? We need them. They give us the structure and language and kind of a place to start. But the real evidence, the evidence that I find the most compelling, is the most convicting and the most human. It comes from the people. The people that filled out the survey. Over 100 people filled it out without prompting, without a rubric, without an agenda. What it actually felt and looked like to be led well without communication and with it. And what I found was not surprising, but it was powerful. The pattern was unmistakable. Communication creates connection, and the absence of communication creates dysfunction. Every single time, without exception. So today, you are going to hear their voices, and I want you to listen, really, really listen to which side of the gap your leadership may be living on. Okay? So by the end of this episode, you will hear real stories from real people about what communication presence and communication absence actually look like and feel like from the inside. And you will see the pattern that connects every story. And you will also leave with one action step that I believe is going to change how your team experiences you before the week is out. Y'all ready? All right, so let me start with some good news, because there are leaders out there that are doing this very well. And I want you to hear what it sounds like when communication is present, like really present in a culture. All right. So one person wrote from my survey about their boss. He says he was always available without making me uncomfortable coming to him. The characteristics that they named was patient, pleasant, enthusiastic, and the impact, they said, is that he made him have more confidence professionally and personally. Read that. Patient, pleasant, enthusiastic. Not visionary, not strategic, not data driven. The words that made someone feel confident and cared for were about availability and presence, about a leader who communicated not just information, but accessibility and safety. The message: you can come to me. Another one shared, my principal led with love. She was patient with us and took the time to talk with us when we weren't meeting expectations or if we needed help. She didn't accuse or assume that she let us ask questions, and then she offered support. And the impact is that she made me want to show up to work harder. Notice what that leader did not do. She did not lower her standards. She did not overlook the gaps. She communicated about them directly, caring with questions instead of accusations. And the result was not resentment. It was motivation. It was a person who wanted to come to work. And this one is one of my favorites from the entire survey. Someone wrote about a leader who took the time to understand each person on their team individually, to learn their needs, their struggles, and their goals, and then tailored their approach accordingly. The characteristics: empathy, willingness to listen, strong, courageous, dependable. The impact: taught me a lot about what leadership really is. A leader who communicated enough care to customize how they showed up for each person. That is not just communication. That is love in action. But there's another side, y'all. There's a flip side. Here's what the other side looks like. And I want you to receive this not as a critique, but as a mirror, because that's what we have to do as leaders. Because these stories come from good organizations led by people who probably thought that they were communicating just fine. One person wrote, department directors didn't engage. No open communication, no mentorship. The characteristics that they named was lack of compassion, lack of empathy, inconsistent, threatening, and the impact made them disconnected. They felt undervalued, they were uncertain, and it decreased morale. Disconnected, unvalued, uncertain. Those are not words that describe a person who is quitting. They are words that describe a person who is already gone on the inside, still in the building, but still doing the minimum required. But emotionally, they're completely somewhere else. And the cause was not cruelty, it was absence. It was leaders who simply did not communicate, did not engage, did not show up in the spaces where their people needed them the most. And here is a direct quote from chapter 5, okay? And I want you all to hold on to this. Communication is a leadership decision and an act of love. I said it last week too. Done well, it builds trust, clarity, and culture. But neglected, it creates confusion, fear, and division. Confusion, fear, division. Look at those three words against what the respondent said. Disconnected, that is division. Undervalued, that is confusion about whether they matter. And uncertain, that is fear. The absence of communication did not create neutrality. It produced its own specific kind of damage, y'all. And here is the one that still makes me catch my breath. A teacher came to her leader struggling with a student situation that was escalating. And instead of support, instead of communication, instead of a genuine response to what she was experiencing, the leader laughed, made a joke of it, did not intervene, did not follow up. And the teacher wrote, it made me feel unsupported, making the remainder of the year uncomfortable. The remainder of the year, one moment of communicating dismissal, one moment of choosing humor over humanity, colored an entire year for that teacher, for her students, for the relationship between that leader and that team member that never fully recovered. And we don't have space for that. The hard truth is the silence that you are comfortable with is not neutral to the people living inside of it. Your team is not waiting patiently for you to communicate. They are filling the silence with their own conclusions, and those conclusions are costing you more than you know. And here is what every one of these stories has in common. On the positive side, people describe leaders who were available, responsive, clear, and caring. People who communicated not just about work, but about people. Who did not assume everyone was fine. Who asked, listened, and followed through. And on the negative side, on the flip side, people describe leaders who were absent, inconsistent, reactive, and closed. People who communicated through silence, through avoidance, through how they responded when things got a little hard. And the message, even when unintentional, was always the same. You are not a priority here. And the pattern is unmistakable. And the gap between these two experiences is not talent. It's not budget. It's not the sector you're in. No, it's not the school size or the company revenue or the organizational chart position. The gap is a leadership decision. The decision to communicate with intentionality and care or not. So here is your action step to close out our communication season. And I want you to take this one very seriously. Please survey your team. It does not have to be a formal or fancy. It can be as simple as a Google form with 3 questions. How would you describe our communication culture? Or what's one thing you wish I communicated differently? Or what do you need more of me in terms of staying connected and informed? And then, and this is the part that most leaders skip, share the results. Tell your team what you heard. Name the patterns. The patterns. Say what you are going to do about them in the upcoming week. That single act, asking, listening, and responding, is one of the most powerful communication moves a leader can make, because it does not just give you information. No, it communicates something to your team. Your voice matters here. And I want you all to know. And I'm willing to change based on what you say. So before I let you all go, Lead with Love, 8 Heart-Centered Strategies for Exceptional Leadership. Y'all know where to find it. It's on Amazon, and the Audible is available. Chapter 5 is full of the communication framework. Everything that we covered this month. The survey, the stories, the tools, the research. It will transform how you lead through language. And next week, we're going to open up a brand new season. We are moving into back to school mode, because we've already started, and the energy of a new beginning, the weight of a new year, and what it means to launch a new season who leads with love. Then we build straight into the A in Just Care, the A effect, the AAA effect. It's going to be one of the best seasons on this podcast, I think, and I cannot wait. All right, y'all, 4 weeks of communication, the breakdown, the tools, the courageous conversations, and now the real stories and the gap. Here's what I need you all to carry out of this season. Communication is not just a leadership function. It is a leadership identity. The way that you communicate tells the people that you lead everything they need to know about whether they matter to you, whether this organization is safe, and whether their voice has a place here. And the most beautiful thing, the thing that gives me so much hope and joy, is that this is entirely within your control. You can decide today to communicate differently. You can show up more, to ask better questions, to say the hard thing, to be the leader whose team never has to wonder where they stand or whether they matter. That leader is available to you right now, starting this week. That's a lot, but I hope that it connected with you. I want to thank you all so much again for joining me on this Lead with Love podcast. If this communication season changed something in you, y'all share the podcast with a leader whose team is living in the communication gap, because they need to hear these stories as well. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out. Next week, we are launching into a brand new season, and it's going to be pretty powerful. And remember, leading with love is not a one-time decision. It is a daily choice. So until next time, be well and lead with love. You'll see it. I just bought those. Aren't they cute? Love them. All right, y'all have a good week. Bye.